right, folks, this is the scene. Obviously, the big news. Not guilty. You can see all her supporters. The street is closed. This is the crowd. We are waiting for the O'Keefes to come out. We're waiting for Karen Reed to come out. Not guilty. Folks, we're awaiting Karen Reed. You can see the media right there. We're going to stay right here on the side. Street is blocked off. Got a lot of supporters here. She was drunk. She was drunk. All right, let's wait. Look, some of the people, I will be live on Court TV tonight. A brilliant case by Hank Brennan, but it did not come out the right way. Who knows what the jury was thinking? We had a false alarm earlier. We're live right now on X and also on Facebook and also on YouTube. And we could hear the crowd, by the way, inside the courtroom. When we walked into the courtroom, Karen Reed and her family were excited and celebrating. And we thought maybe it was going to be a mistrial, but you know, doesn't matter what tomorrow was or the next day. Because Karen Reed has essentially been found not guilty on murder 2, on the manslaughter, and we're awaiting her to come out. Now, I don't know whether or not the Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan is going to say anything. We don't know. What's that? I didn't say anything. Folks, you can see the crush of media. Again, we're right outside the courthouse, and we could hear the crowd inside. And then you're really going to hear the crowd when she comes out. But when we were inside, you could hear the people cheering below. You still have to have the O'Keefes to come out. And also, I don't know if Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan, I don't know if he's going to say anything. But as you can tell, folks, so the street is closed here. Some people have seen my coverage of the case, obviously. I would imagine you're going to see Alan Jackson, Karen Reed come out and address the crowd, address the media. Jury selection started April 2nd. Again, if you're on TikTok, make sure you follow the page. Again, we're live also on YouTube and Facebook and X. But again, the big news, Karen Reed has been found not guilty. And I was inside the courtroom. You could tell as soon as they came in, they knew. They knew. They were giddy. They were laughing. They were excited. Then the O'Keefe family basically came in. And then the special prosecutors came in. So now they're chanting Morrissey resign. Folks, this is the scene outside the courthouse. Still have more media showing up. We're going to stay right here. So Karen Reed has been found not guilty. Not guilty. And folks, again, also, there'll be a lot of talk of a solid case that Hank Brennan put together. Peg O'Keefe, Paul O'Keefe, the O'Keefe family and supporters in the courtroom. And where does this go? We don't know. Folks, again, this is for those that wanted justice for John O'Keefe. Obviously, this is not what it looks like. This is not what it looks like. So she did get nailed on a misdemeanor of a drunk driving, but other than that, there was nothing. So, but the crowd is waiting for Karen Reed and her legal team to come out, and we're gonna await that. So, folks, you can see we have extra security. State police are trying to keep this under control. There's a lot of people that are now descending on the courthouse. You can also see the media row and how far they go down. And folks, they are familiar with my work, so you can hear some various people, but we're going to wait and see. As I said, some key people to come out. Obviously, not just Karen Reed and her defense team, but also her parents, and also we're going to see the O'Keefe family come out. I'm very anxious to see what's going to happen when you see the O'Keefe family come out. So, folks, again, as you know, this Hank Brennan did a magnificent job. Got as good a job as anybody could do. It's a tough case. You start to break it down. I'm not sure some of these experts should have been allowed to testify. Whether or not the ARCA experts should have been allowed to testify. But it is a huge day here in Dedham. Tomorrow's a day off. Karen Reed has been found not guilty for the murder of John O'Keefe. Good job, Ava. You can hear the helicopters. Look at the helicopters up ahead. State police so far keeping things under control. Again, tonight I'll be on with Vinnie Politan at Court TV at 8 o'clock. Recap the trial and the verdict. Karen Reed found not guilty of second-degree murder and manslaughter. By the way, it's very muggy here in Dedham. Plus, it's a big crowd. You can see the helicopters in the sky, and also there's several copters. She, I would imagine, is going to be coming in. I'll be there. I will be there. Folks, again, you can see the crowd is not left. The crowd wants her to come out, and she will come out, and her defense team, led by Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, Mr. Alessi. Now, the O'Keefe family also has not left yet. And she can't be tried again. She can't be tried again on this. It's misdemeanor as far as the jury gave her basically a bullshit misdemeanor charge. So I can hear some people cheering me, saying thank you for the coverage. I appreciate that. I will be on again, Vinny Politan, for TV Tonight, 8 o'clock. Folks, I don't know if Hank Brennan is going to say anything, but we are waiting to see Karen Reed and her, if anything, just to capture how the crowd is going to erupt. But last trial, last spring, you had a mistrial. This time around, it was shorter, it was tighter, and there was no mistrial. Instead, they came back with a not guilty verdict. There was a false alarm, and then that's how it came down. So we await Karen Reed and her team. We are awaiting Karen Reed, her team, and also, tragically, the O'Keefes have to come out for this mob. The O'Keefe family have to come out with this mob. This is certainly not the way they wanted it to go. Again, we're live right now on YouTube, on X, also obviously on Facebook. So TikTok, X, Facebook, and YouTube. So, and now we're awaiting. I don't know what's going to happen with the O'Keefe family. Maybe they have them go out the back. I don't know. You could tell that. Now, keep in mind, they do have the civil wrongful death case coming up against Karen Reed, but this was a big domino to fall. Make no mistake about it. This was the murder, too. This is what they were looking for. Karen Reed found not guilty. And the jury came in. And we'll see if the jury does interviews after this or what comes out of it. So it is hard to believe. Now, so far, the troopers seem to have the crowd under control. But you're going to hear, we'll stay for the outbursts and the rush. And again, repeating, this has been the most watched trial in the country. And Karen Reed has been found not guilty. Not guilty of manslaughter, not guilty of murder 2, which was the big one. Her and Alan Jackson had a big embrace in the courtroom. Came in from LA. He really orchestrated this. This defense team found these, quote, expert witnesses, the dog bites. is a huge celebration day here in Dedham, outside the courthouse. Karen Reed found not guilty. No mistrial, not guilty verdict, not a split verdict. Oh, I understand. Yes, yes. Tell her I said hello. Ask her when Proctor's testifying. Well, folks, this is what it looks like. Listen, Hank Brennan put together a brilliant prosecution. They had the evidence. But folks, much like, listen, OJ was found not guilty. They're chanting justice for John, but oh my God, what an insult. What an insult to John O'Keefe, his family, who wanted her to be found guilty. There is no shame with this crowd. Justice for John. The O'Keefe family who has been hassled and targeted and booed. I don't like that chant. Lock up Jen. I don't know what that means. Jen McCabe was a good friend to John O'Keefe. Jen McCabe is a very powerful witness. Folks, much like OJ was found not guilty. Now, what this means for Karen Reed, I don't know. But she won't have to come to this courthouse anymore. Alan Jackson can go back to LA. They're chanting FBI. Well, the FBI investigation is over. Folks, just a reminder, the evidence was compelling. And look at this crowd. You got to wonder, was the jury influenced by this mob? Was the jury intimidated by this mob? Should they have moved this trial to Springfield, Mass? We don't know. Should they have moved this trial out of here? Were there people that penetrated the jury? Were there Karen Reed supporters that got on the jury? But folks, we are standing by, again, huge crowd. Not sure what the delay is. Here come some people. I'm not sure who that is. Folks, again, remember, OJ was found not guilty. You got to wonder, did this mob influence the jury? Was there a Karen Reed plant on the jury? We don't know. Now they're chanting lock up Proctor. But folks, Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan put together a remarkable case, compelling evidence, the data, the Lexus, his cell phone. But Alan Jackson said no collision, no collision, no collision. She blamed the friends of John O'Keefe, but Karen Reed is about to walk out of this courthouse. Karen Reed is about to walk out of this courthouse free with a misdemeanor drunk driving charge. So everybody is standing by. Again, we had a false alarm earlier. This is downtown Dedham, and the Karen Reed trial where she has been found not guilty. Again, we are live on X and YouTube and also on Facebook and TikTok. If you're on TikTok, make sure you follow the page. The trial has come to an end. Now also, this crowd thought on Friday there'd be a not guilty. It didn't happen. Then it came over to Monday, all day, nothing. Then we had the notes, and the jury asked. On whether or not the Karen clips could be evidence. And they were told it could be. And then today, we had No. Great case. No. Folks, again, we're standing by for Karen Reed. We're standing by for Karen Reed and her defense team to come out. No collision. There's no collision. I had YouTube flashing. On the stereo, and I thought I didn't hit it because I just hit it. But it was no collision. Nope. It was no collision. I think someone planted that. Were you wearing gloves when you picked up that? What's that? Did I see you wearing gloves when you picked up that? I was. You were? You don't want to trace your steps back to your Right. You see where I left it? You see where I left a note for him? Yeah. I heard our. Well, I'm going to bring an aperture. There was no collision. Folks, it's been a big deal about. They're claiming that I had. But that tail light was not broken. It was cracked. There was no collision. But folks, between the dog bites, there are still people here that believe the dog bites. There's more people coming out, and I want to really hear when the crowd comes out, or when Karen Reed comes out. Now, there's a lot of officers that are coming out, so I get the feeling that something's about to happen. So we left the courtroom, but I did get inside the courtroom for the verdict, and I'll talk about it tonight. Folks, Court TV, 8 o'clock, Vinnie Politan. Karen Reed, incredibly, despite her confessions in those video clips, Karen Reed found not guilty. There was no collision. I don't know what this leads things. All right, we're still standing by. It's not raining. No court tomorrow. Karen Reed does not have to come to this courthouse. Karen Reed does not have to come to this courthouse. Hank Brennan put on a great case. He did. Nope. She was drunk. She was drunk and she put the car in reverse. All right, here we go. All right, I'm hearing, here she comes. And you're going to see Karen Reed come out. folks, we obviously can't hear them. And that is that. And we're going to stay live for a little bit. Again, we are live on TikTok, and we are live on X, and we are live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook. Folks, a lot of people celebrating. We're going to stick around until the crowd disperses a little bit. I also want to see if the O'Keeffes are going to come out. I don't know if Hank Brennan's going to say anything. But right now, 3:39 in the east. 3:39 in the east. Has been found not guilty. There's a lot of hugging and cheering. Now, folks, I'm going to stick around the courtroom, everybody. Number one, I'm doing Court TV tonight. You can watch 8 o'clock, Vinnie Politan. But obviously the big story. Karen Reed has been found not guilty. All right, folks, here we are. Listen, tough one, right? It's a tough one. You know, this is not what the people wanted. This is not what the O'Keeffes wanted. Thank you to everybody for following and the coverage. Listen, where do I stand? And I want to be very clear. This does not mean she is not guilty exactly as Hank Brennan claimed and said, and the evidence showed. But what they showed were things that we don't know. Was it the crowd? Was it the amount of publicity? What went into it? She was drunk. She was drunk. She hit him and she left him. That's what happened. OJ was found not guilty. That did not mean that OJ was not responsible for that. It just means he was found not guilty. I don't understand the verdict. I don't. I thought the Commonwealth put on a tremendous case. I do. So, folks, it's not easy. I think of the... I think of the O'Keeffes. I think of the witnesses. I don't know going forward who would want to step forward. That's right. Who would want to step forward to testify in a murder trial in Massachusetts? Who would want to do that? Why would you do that? Why would you step forward in Massachusetts? Why would you step forward in Massachusetts and testify in a murder trial? So, I can feel a little drizzle. They're going to start to reopen the streets. So they're going to reopen the street. Police are going to move everything out. Now, right now, folks, 3:44, Wednesday afternoon. We're in Dedham. Karen Reed has been found not guilty. So you can see, obviously the media is going to stay here a little bit. But they're going to reopen the street. And ideally that will start to clear some of the people out. Oh, it's supposed to start raining at 4 o'clock. Possible light rain. Good. Folks, what's to be said? Hank Brennan put on a great case. What do I think? I feel terrible for the O'Keefes. I feel terrible for the witnesses. At least they're going to start to clear all these barriers out of here. Vinnie Politan setting up across the street. Actually, is set up. See Vinnie over there. I'll be live with him at 8. By the way, I will be live at some point before that on YouTube, X, and on Facebook. There's the class. There's the class. Folks, we're going to stick around a little bit. Again, we are live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Make sure you follow the page. Karen Reed, not guilty. We're so close to 15,000. 15,000 live on X, YouTube, Facebook. Oh, okay. Well, she's free. That's for sure. Thank you everybody for tuning in on TikTok. We'll pick things up just a little while again. Repeating, Karen Reed not guilty. Found high-profile case.
Yes, absolutely. It's always. Yes.
I'm going to give you a cheer.
I'm on tonight. Folks, this is rough. Now, a couple things. I've been at this courthouse since April 2nd with jury selection. Plus, we had hearings in motions heard going back to February and then March and everything. You see the pink confetti. Karen Reed found not guilty. And her crowd stays there.
F like Frank?
Yep. No, there's a code. And that's red one.
Just more people, folks, saying they loved my coverage. Folks, as you know, complete, unbiased coverage of the trial. That's what we provided. So we're about to hit 16,000 people.
We're going to go to the Airbnb.
So they're all going over to the Karen Reed Airbnb.
Okay, did you use it at 11:15?
Here we go, 16,000. Folks, again, to be very clear.
And there were drinks in the
Yeah, drinks and snacks. Okay. It's very nice meeting you and working with you. I just wish you had told the truth.
Wow.
I don't know how it is.
Someone's missing a couch slipcover.
By the way, they were like, fucking, they were about to come over and kick your ass.
You think so? I didn't feel that.
You took it very calm.
I don't take it that way. Not at all.
Sir, no joke.
We're not going to do the drill.
I'm not funny. I'm just looking at the stuff. He was yelling at you. Oh, is it okay to look at it? No. Not flies. No, you can't look
I thought they were cheering.
You want to know?
Could you tell the crowd booed when I came down? They did. Folks, that's just what happened. But it doesn't take us from the truth. Remember, OJ was found not guilty. The Karen Reed trial has come to a conclusion. She was found not guilty.
I want to get them.
Folks, I want to credit Massachusetts State Police, did a fantastic job. The court officials here at Dedham did a fantastic job. I was in the courtroom. I'll be talking more about it. Probably going to get something to eat. But we'll stay live for a little bit. By the way, I also want to announce we're going to be kicking off an afternoon program right around this time. Might be like 4 to 6 or somewhere in that window. And now that this trial has come to an end, okay. Yeah, I want to credit Hank Brennan. What a phenomenal job. Um, the investigators, court officials. There was a problem with this jury. There was a problem with some of the expert witnesses that were allowed to testify. I think everybody's glad this has come to a conclusion. No mistrial. You can see the media is getting ready for their 4 o'clock hits. There's Ted Daniel, Christina Rex. And it's still people that don't want to leave, don't want to celebrate. No. But thank you. Folks, I feel for the witnesses. I feel for your chiefs. Hank Brennan, a remarkable case. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Last Friday, what a close he gave. Closing argument. He made the case for guilty murder too, but that's not how it came down. That's not how the jury saw it. So, folks, and I also want to say, we said we'd accept the verdict. That's the verdict. Not guilty. For whatever reason. Either maybe it's because of the crowds out here. Maybe it's they should have moved it. Maybe it's because of, were they influenced by the crowds? Was it, should those ARCA guys been allowed to testify? I don't know. Meet you. I'll shoot you a message.
Okay.
All right, brother.
Let's say shoot.
Folks could see everybody getting ready for their 4 o'clock hits. Wow, that is really remarkable. Over there you can see, I can feel some rain. That's not a bad thing. There's some people behind Vinnie Politan, Court TV, some people with flags dancing. Hank Brennan put on an unbelievable case. I also think the evidence was overwhelming, but that's just not how the jury saw it. That's not how the jury saw it, for whatever reason. And that's how it came down. Now, this crowd seemingly doesn't want to leave. They want to stay and celebrate. So what does this mean? I don't know what it means going forward. I don't know what it means. I'm just not sure who would want to testify in a Massachusetts murder trial going forward. No. Between social media, the intimidation of the witnesses, going after the witnesses, it's really, the whole thing is just remarkable. It is. The buffer zone comes to a close. Aaron Reed, and here comes the rain, has been found not guilty. If you're watching. The crowd knows who I am. The adulation, folks, it never gets old. Washing over me. You could hear that applause when I came down the steps. That was not pumped in crowd noise. Nope. Not on this day. What I like is the crowd here appreciated my fair, unbiased, fair coverage. No agenda, straight reporting. That's what they responded to. But this is not the verdict that they wanted. Nope, not the verdict that Hank Brennan wanted. Not the verdict the police wanted. Not the verdict that the witnesses wanted. Not the verdict that the O'Keefes wanted. Nope, not at all. But folks, these people showed up. Listen, hiring Alan Jackson was a game changer. It was. What a shame it's starting to rain. Hiring Alan Jackson was a game changer. Oh, here comes the rain. Looks like everyone's going to have to leave.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's out the window. Let's go to the tent.
All right, but we are going to start an afternoon program on these three platforms, X and Facebook, and also on YouTube. Oh, there's a tree right in there.
They got a little cheer out there, John, coming out. I never introduced myself to them, John. I'm not.
But I like your work.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Folks, there's a real reporter right there.
Oh, God.
NBC 10 Boston. Oh. Ah. As the rain starts to come down here in Dedham. Jesus, I hate to sign off. We're so close to 20,000 people. We'll stay like this just for a minute. I have nowhere to go. It's 4 o'clock in the east. Not going to miss a lot of the. It's a very busy route with a lot of engines. 4 o'clock in the east. Karen Reed found not guilty. Nothing. Not guilty. She caught one DUI charge.
Oh, it was all about me.
And that was it. And it's like a misdemeanor DUI charge.
Mine was over here.
Totally fine.
I think these people seem somewhat a bit respecting personal property.
I wasn't wrong. No, I was not wrong. The jury got it wrong. I wasn't wrong. Hank Brennan wasn't wrong. She was drunk and she hit him and she left him. I mean, that's what happened.
See you at the next one.
Yeah. That's what happened. So Hank Brennan wasn't wrong. It's definitely something with the system or the jury, or maybe having a huge mob outside, or whatever it may be. We'll stay a couple more minutes till the rain lets up. Folks, and again, I want to be very clear. I feel for the O'Keefes. I feel for the witnesses. Hank Brennan put on a phenomenal case. I still don't get it. They're playing We Are the Champions. And she got not guilty on a murder conviction. I don't get it. I will say this also, a couple things. Number one, I don't think Hank Brennan could have done a better job. I think some of the witnesses, I don't think the judge should have let some of these people testify. The ARCA guys should not have been allowed to testify. They got secret payments. They lied to the court. They probably should have bounced Alan Jackson. The Dr. Russell was not a dog bite expert. Shouldn't have been allowed to testify. But it was really the ARCA guys. But I don't know. We won't know until we hear from the jury what it was. It's tough to tell what was it, because by all accounts, this case was a layup. It was very convincing, compelling evidence. The Lexus data paired up with John's cell phone and the body temperature. I don't know. I don't know what the jury, what they saw that we didn't see. I thought the streamlined approach that Hank Brennan took was solid. I thought it was very effective. I don't think Hank Brennan could have done a better job. So how could we have gotten a different result? Maybe a different judge. Maybe it needed to be in Springfield. We don't know. We don't know yet if there was some people on the jury that were Reed supporters. Unknown. But again, we are live right now. X, YouTube, Facebook. Tomorrow is a holiday, and Karen Reed was found not guilty. And the trial comes to a conclusion, and that's the verdict. That is the verdict. How would the crowd have reacted if it had gone another way? We'll never know. She no longer has to come here. She's free to go anywhere. Maybe she goes to, I don't know. Maybe she goes to LA. Maybe she shows up on The View. Again, I want to remind you, if you're following on YouTube, make sure you follow Facebook and X. And we are going to start an afternoon show right around this time, each weekday afternoon, on these three platforms. But again, say what you want. The defense, Alan Jackson, Yannetti, Alessi, they got the ARCA guys in to testify. They got Marie Russell to testify. They got Elizabeth Lapazada to testify. They did. So whether or not they were qualified or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, they got them in there as an expert. But no, we don't know, though, as we hit 20,000. We don't know what it was that the jury made the jury jump off or go a certain way. We won't know that until we hear maybe some jury interviews, if the jurors talk. So if you know a juror, I'd certainly like to talk to them. Excuse me, do you know, is that building still open? It's not. Okay, it's locked. Okay. Folks, but again, repeating, Karen Reed found not guilty here in Dedham. I don't know. The O'Keefes, they move ahead with their wrongful death suit. And Karen Reed is still facing witness intimidation charges, so she's not done with that. Or she could be, I think. I think she will be facing. Um, what are we to make of this trial? What are we to make of the verdict? I don't know. As I've said, I feel for Hank Brennan. He was really remarkable, really unbelievable. I feel for the O'Keefe family. They all keep, that's a Boston thing, Goodwill Hunting. How do you like them apples? Well, at least it's clean. But Karen Reed found not guilty. Not a mistrial. Not on the manslaughter. I don't know what was going on in that jury room. I don't know. They had a false alarm. They had a false alarm, and then they came back with not guilty verdicts, except for one bullshit misdemeanor alcohol charge that she got because she insisted on no week 4. Uh, that's a tough one. But again, folks, feel for the witnesses, feel for the O'Keefes, feel for Hank Brennan and his team putting this together. What a remarkable case he put together. But it was, I don't know. I'd be very curious to hear the jury and what it was that led them to that. Because people felt, especially Dr. Welcher, what happened, and it still came out that way. I also want to remind people, Karen Reed was found not guilty. That doesn't mean, look at, some people still set up like they're here, like tailgating. She was drunk. What makes you think that?
Oh, that's all text first.
I didn't think it was a contest. We went where the evidence led us.
Literally.
And it seemed like it was going to be a guilty verdict.
Listen, Turtle, Karen Reed is free.
She is.
Yeah.
She's free. Yep. Nettie, Jackson, Alessi. No collision. No collision. No collision. Why would people think there was a collision? Because he was lying in a debris field and she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him? I don't know. That remains a mystery. I don't know. Oh, my goodness. There's no collision. Nope. Those taillight pieces were framed. My attorney, Joe Krowski's going to handle it. Folks, it's been a long day. It's been a long trial as we hit 21,000. And I know. It's a tough one. All right, listen, we're going to sign off from Dedham. I want to thank everyone for your support. Again, that was the verdict. That's what the jury came back with. Not guilty. All right, I'll see you. I will be live in just a little while, actually. I'll do a quick recap, I think. I can rally. I'll feel better after I eat. But as of right now, she was found not guilty. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're going to sign off from Dedham. Tonight, 8 o'clock, Vinnie Politan, Court TV.